Okay. Let me introduce Penny McIntyre of the Coca-Cola Corporation. Penny is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Water, Tea, and Coffee for the Coca-Cola Company. Two things I'm going to mention. One, I found written up somewhere that her passion, makes appropriate sense here, is making the complex simple and making the simple impactful. So please join me in welcoming her as she presents the new rules of brand management, leveraging new media in the new economy. Penny.
I have a confession to make. I am a technological Luddite, which is talking about taking a risk of having me come up here and speak about this. It is not necessarily something that I do every day, but it's something that impacts my life every day. So when Don asked me to come up and talk about marketing in this whole new world, I said, yeah, let me give it a shot. And in the journey, which I took with my agency, which you'll notice down in the corner, Venables, Bells & Partner, I learned a lot. So hopefully today you'll learn a little bit about marketing Web 2.5. But we're going to start with a really short video that talks a little bit about what the life is like out there. So Stein, technology's not my friend. Let's hope it goes with surfing, right?
Surfing.
Good.
All right, what's going on? iTunes, BitTorrent, but first to the interweb. Facebook, Twitter, need to check my mail. Jenna's picks. Here's one. Must watch. We'll see about that. Nice. One of your die.
Thank you for calling Black Friend Finder. Tiffany speaking. How can I help you today?
That was funny. Last week. Man, you are too slow. Time for some tunes. Oh, hey, Zach. Allison's party. I didn't see that. I wonder when it is. Oh, Friday? Better check the Evite. Nixon. So's Alicia. Watermelon vodka. That should make him laugh. I need to add this song to the mix. What's up, Alex? Kangaroos. What's that from? Oh, right, Entourage. I have to check that out. Sundance. I haven't seen it, but I'll see it in a minute. HBO should have it. Summary music? Where's the clips? Let's try IMDb. Plot, no video. Ah, quotes. Mormons. Nice, that'll work. Not really. iTunes, cool. They actually have it. This is worth a post. Thanks, Alex. All right, what's next?
Well, the point of that was to say that's what life is like out there now. I don't know about you guys. I'm not nearly as proficient as Alex, or James actually from Venables is, but my kids are, and that's the way they work. It's multitasking, it's doing things all at once, it's finding stuff on the web that you didn't know existed. So, affectionately called surfing lesson. So let's talk about a definition. As marketers, we like to start there. What is new media? It's communication platforms which are inspired by emerging technology and devices, often fueled by consumer behavior. What's that mean? It's about the evolution of traditional media, and you'll see that what you're used to in marketing and the media, it's there. It's just being delivered in a different way. Growth and development of emerging media, you saw a little bit of that in the video, and entirely new media. The new now, that's what this is all about. It's not then, it's not in the future, it's now. What you already know as marketers, there's an amazing amount of fragmentation out there. There's an amazing amount of multitasking out there. I mean, I was sitting there and I had my BlackBerry going and I'm listening to what's going on. That's the way we live. That's what your consumers and your audience is all about. There's been an unprecedented rate of growth of new media out there, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. There's really a focus on personalization. If you saw in that video, Alex was doing things that were very relevant to him. He wasn't being taken by the hand through this. He actually was accessing things as he went, as he needed them. And what you find is that technology is actually prioritizing and influencing how we act and how we ingest our content. And one thing I found fascinating, there was a survey done, and in that survey, people said that they spend 31 hours a day. 31 hours a day, huh? How's that work? With new media. Well, it all comes back to multitasking. I haven't quite figured that out. Some days it feels like 31 hours a day, but not really. What's fascinating as well is that it's not just youth. It's not just young people doing this. If you look at this graph, you'll see that across all age spectrums, people are really working with the internet, accessing it, playing with it, and living their lives by it. I was fascinated. Ages 65 and above, it's over 50% of people using the internet. And $24 billion are being spent in advertising on that. Oops, I think I just did something I shouldn't. There we go, haha. So what are some fun, scary facts? Well, 72% of the population in the US went online in the past month. 72%. People spend online 30% of their personal time. You know how we're all so crazy with work? We give up our personal time, 30% of us give it up and spend it on the web. So it's actually part of our life. 69% of men 18 to 34 cannot live without the internet versus 31% on TV. And my personal favorite, 46% of women, this is a true survey, said they would give up sex for 2 weeks rather than give up the internet. No comments made. And what's really fascinating for me, 19% of the couples married in 2008 met online. Talk about influencing your life, your future. Now, what we don't have is the next one, which is how this interacts with birth rates. But I'm sure the next time I talk, I'll have a fun fact about that. So what does this mean? It means that the world is out there is changing, and we've actually changed in a very short period of time from what would be Web 1.0 to what we're thinking it's going to be Web 3.0. So let me talk to you about that. Web 1.0, not so long ago. It was more or less traditional media, but just delivered through a new way. We published content, the audience read it, there was a one-way dialogue. Imagine a newspaper on a monitor. Now, Web 2.0, it's all about mutual exchange. Of course, we publish content, and of course, the audience is reading content. But it doesn't stop there. The audience is commenting, they're streamlining it, they're changing it, and we as publishers have to actually listen to that. So it's a much more of a mutual exchange. There's much more interaction with it, and less control, quite frankly. And this has happened over a really short period of time. 1995, Web 1.0, that was about accessing information. So Google, Napster. Today, we're now in Web 2.0. Publish, comment, interact, experience dialogue. And that's things like YouTube, you saw it in the video, Flickr, Facebook, Hulu. Where are we going? Well, nobody really knows, because that's the thing about the web. You just don't know where it's going to go next. But the kind of the thinking people are saying that we're now going to move to the next generation of content providing. It's really about the content is out there, but based on how your predilections, how you interact with the web, it will be modified and it will kind of follow you, which is a bit scary because it feels like there's a big brother out there who's saying, hey, this is what Penny does. She really likes this kind of music, this kind of fiction, and then changing the content and modifying it to me. So it's scary, but it's also great because we've all heard about how much there is of information. This, in fact, lets us use the web much more efficiently. So that's where we think this is going, which is what they call on this slide the external brain.